am Jonathan, and this is Reality Overload, and I'm here with Bobby from Snoopers Corner, and we will be doing a show today on Godzilla versus Kong, as well as The Flash and Supergirl, and a few little space updates. Bobby, how about you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Bobby here from Snoopers Corner, live on YouTube, streaming now. Please go check out the channel. And man, we have a lot of stuff to get to. It's gonna be a packed show. It was a big day. There's a lot happening. Oh wow, there's a lot.
Oh, yes, there is. Yes, there is. So on our first updates that we have is with SpaceX. So SpaceX has, they launched SN11, but unfortunately the SN11 upon ascent, there was a problem with the second Raptor engine. And unfortunately, it blew up as it reignited for landing. And so because of that, they lost the entire ship and it never actually touched down before blowing up. But they are looking into it. As they find out more information on it, they will release it. And Elon is always texting out and telling us, you know, updates and so forth on what's going on. So we'll see. He's also tweeted that the booster number 2 should be on the suborbital pad before the end of April. And hopefully we will see the first flight of it before the end of the year.
Cool.
Yeah, and then for moving on for updates with NASA and their Mars rover Perseverance and the helicopter Ingenuity. That is the legs on Ingenuity. All 4 legs have been extended. They're fully out, and by April 8th, it should be dropped and it should take its first flight. So, which will be really, really great to see. So let me bring up my notes here that I have so we can start our little show here. So I figured we'll start with the Flash.
Oh, all right.
And then from there, you know, we'll go forward with that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. Well, the Flash. This episode was actually a lot better than the last episode. The last episode, they still didn't answer very much, but they did answer a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all know that the different time fields that Flash is made of, that gives him his power, they have their own entities. They have their own people that they use to use their power.
Yeah, so you're actually referring to, and later on we find out in the episode at the end that the person that we see as Nora Allen, Barry's mother, is actually the Speed Force that took the form of his mother, and she believes, at the end we find out that she believes that these other people like Psyche and that purple beast thing was I forget what Cisco called him, but it was called her, I should say, because it's a female character. But I forget it was a Spanish word, but she believes though that they are the same thing as her for those different forces.
Yeah. But no, you know, the episode was actually not that bad. I was actually impressed.
Yeah. In the beginning, in the first part of the show, you know, we do see the 2 different Frosts. We see Caitlin and Frost with her. And of course, everyone's trying to figure out how the heck that happened. And Caitlin says that she believes that when she was hit by the mirror weapon from the mirror mother, that's what caused them to split. And of course, they say, okay, well, we'll try and see if we can get you guys back together. But if you notice, though, it almost looked as though Frost didn't really want to be put back together. Like she liked being separate on her own, kind of thing, and not connected to Caitlin, like that. So, and of course, but before that, though, we do see Cecilia, and she sees something. She's hearing things that no one else can see because of her special abilities, and so because of that, we see that this new character called Psych is able to put show people their darkest fear,
Yeah.
and what they fear the most.
Yeah. He's kind of like a dream master.
Yeah. Yeah.
His
He is.
mask. I don't know. His mask scared the living daylights out of me.
Really? Did it?
Yeah, his mask was all sorts of creepy. I saw a little bit of Billy the Puppet from Saw in there. I saw, yeah, there was a lot of little stuff in
Yeah.
there.
I mean it was actually and then of course when we see him and this is after Nora Allen or the Speed Force shows up, but then he goes out. Actually, before that, though, we get a character that comes in and into Papa Joe's office while he's there with Iris, and her name was Cameron, I believe, and so apparently she's there from logistical, affairs and so forth. Yeah,
She's a cop.
well, yeah, she is, but for a particular department apparently. Now, she comes in and she comes early. She says that you're either early or late. You're never on time, and so that sends a red flag to Iris that there's something more about her. Um, and of course she gives the feeling that there is something there more about her that she's not discussing of exactly why she's there. And of course we see that she actually has a military background later on, but she did send up a few red flags to me when they first introduced her, because she gets there early, she says who she is, and then she basically leaves and says, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. So it's like, what was the point of you coming there early just to introduce yourself and then leave? Like, you're not even there for the meeting. It's like, okay, like a little odd, but hey. And then of course we see Psyche. He's trying to rob was it an armor vehicle, and he uses, he makes it look like there's like a cobra, a kaiju, there. And I have to say though, the effects that they gave there with it was actually quite amazing. It really was. And Barry thinks there's not nothing too special. He figures he can't really do anything to him, but then we see him give Barry's darkest, what he fears at that time, and it was Eobard Thawne as the Reverse Flash, and then we also saw Scimitar, and he came and stabbed him right through his chest there, through the back, and he actually started bleeding out in real life. but then his speed healing kicked in and helped save him. But we
That's
see,
when you find that. That's when you find out if you get killed in the dream world, you die in the
yeah.
real world.
So we find out that when you get injured in that little dream world type of thing that he does, it also can also kill you too, because it can cause injuries. But then if you die in that state, you'll die in real life too. Um, and so of course they try and make these little neuro blocking type of headgear devices to help. And so the next time he hits, which is, I think it's like a stockbroking type firm of some kind, because they were talking about the Dow dropping. That was their biggest fear. All these people that the stock market is crashing, and we see him. He starts causing Frost and Cisco, to see their worst fears, and and then so before he gets Barry sends a bolt of lightning down to him and hits him directly, and he just absorbs it, and it seems to surround Psyche, and then just completely gets absorbed into him, which no one's able to do that. So the fact that he's able to, plus not to mention that purple female big colossal thing, which was funny when he came up with the name. He goes, well, She-Hulk's already taken. So that was funny, and so that's why he came up with the name that he did, which unfortunately I can't pronounce it quite right, so I'm not even going to try. But then, what did Cisco see? Because we see Frost, and she's afraid of being turned in and arrested. And it was Caitlin, we find out, that did it in that little nightmare of hers. Cisco, though, he said that it dealt with Camellia, but it almost seemed like he was lying. Like, I think he saw something else, but he's not telling the team for whatever reason. So I thought that was, what exactly is he hiding right now?
Yeah, exactly.
And then of course, when he was telling the team, he tells them that. So was he lying about it, or is that what he actually saw? But they get this idea, though. Hopefully we will find out. I'm thinking he actually saw something much worse. I'm thinking because I really don't know what he might have saw at this point, because of the fact that he has been through quite a bit. But dude, I would say, because you're okay, so we go and we see what Cecilia I'm jumping ahead now. We actually see them pull out DeVoe's chair, or AKA Thinker. And so this chair, has been used to kill people, to take other metahumans' abilities, and he's able to focus his mental abilities with it. And so now the chair did turn DeVoe evil, and so Cecile is a little afraid that it could turn her evil, but the team assures her that no, it's fine, because you're using it for good. You're a good person. You don't have to worry. So she goes ahead. She gets herself hooked up to it, and Barry's running, and he just slams right into the little purple field that this guy's generating, that's expanding, because he's trying to give off all this fear to this whole little city, small the heights. And so so Barry goes and he smacks the wall, and he starts fearing again, which we saw during the investment scene, where he's afraid that all of his team is dead. Everyone that he knows is dead. And so, of course, the fear starts getting even worse, and they're coming out, and they almost look like zombies coming back to life. And even Iris, her leg is all messed up, and she's walking with it like a zombie would. It's like really, really creepy to a certain point, man. They're blaming him, for them dying and stuff like that. And then Cecilia, she finally is able to locate Barry, and when Barry, says, no, this is just a dream, he closes his eyes, and he says, basically he pushes through that fear, and he gives off courage, and because of that, Cecilia is able to take that and just push it through everyone there and completely knock down the field, to the point where Flash, even before, actually it was just after he got through, but he ran so fast he was finally able to pass through that guy's field, and then Cecilia was able to send out, that feeling of courage and of strength out to everyone, which woke them all up and helped save them, and which ultimately helped defeat Psyche. It helped knock him down, as well as completely destroy him, and you see him just completely disintegrate down to nothing, basically, and disappear, which was a nice little ending. But we're coming up to the end here, and Barry, unfortunately, there's something still wrong with him, and so he has to go into the cryostasis.
Oh yeah, because he has all that built up energy he had in him. He had a lot of energy flowing through him at that time. You could see it.
Well, no, but they don't know what's wrong with him exactly, though. But Nora, she believes that it's the same thing that was affecting her as well. But the last thing we see is, though, Barry's going in that stasis, and they even said that if he goes in there, he may not come out. So, but after he goes in, Nora wakes up, and that's when we find out that these other people are like her, Psyche, and that purple beast. And then of course we see that at the very end that Carmen or Camellia, she's actually there to capture Frost. So
yeah, because what's his name, after point blank, he was like, I don't like work. I can't work with you because, for one, you're not being honest. Tell me the truth. Why are you here? And she finally goes, I'm here to catch her Killer Frost.
Yep, exactly. So that is how it's ended until the next episode. So I'm looking forward to that for next week. Unfortunately, there is no Superman and Lois until, I believe it's May 18th, they said. So
they're on their first break.
Yeah, they are on their first break. So unfortunately, we gotta wait until we can see more. But they did start back up Supergirl. So the first episode of the 6th season. Unfortunately, this is the final season, and apparently they are canceling the series. But they've said that before with like Legends of Tomorrow, and they're coming back. So she might not be done completely, but as of right now, yes, this is the final season. So enjoy it while it lasts, because once it's gone, more than likely
it's
that's
gone.
It. Yeah,
it's gone.
And I have to say, I really enjoy all the different actors on this show, all the characters that they have playing. It's going to be a shame, a big shame not seeing them anymore for this series, but hopefully we'll see them in the other series coming in for cameos, or coming in for an episode or so. But unfortunately, though, this is the last season. So, but we start off with where they ended up, which was Brainy and Lex were working together. And of course, Brainy didn't tell anyone else on the team that he was doing this, but he thought that he was going to be helping Lex defeat the Leviathan. And of course, shocker, or actually, it's not really a shocker, but they did. Lex did take it and decided to use it for himself by taking all the Leviathans except for the Leviathan of technology. But he took all the other Leviathans and shrunk them down into this little container and then stuck it all inside of him, ultimately.
Yeah, gave himself powers.
Actually, he gave himself all the abilities that the Leviathans had.
Yeah.
But after Lex leaves, we see Brainy and he's in this room where there's a bunch of poisonous radiation where he's dying, and Dreamer comes in, and she does not want him to die, so she kneels down and takes on her ability to it's almost like what Doctor Strange does, and now Wanda, where they can was it self-project or
astral project.
Astral project, thank you. And so to get into the room, to touch the panel, to open it up, which they finally do. And Supergirl, Martian Manhunter, as well as oh shoot, now I'm forgetting her name. The female Martian Manhunter, and Alex, they come busting in, and of course Alex has a bad reaction to the radiation, so the female Martian Hunter, she gets them out, while Supergirl and Martian Manhunter are taking care of the Leviathan of technology, because she came back to life after Brainy and Lex killed her in the last season. And so Alex takes her weapon, which I have to say, I love her weapon, because she can literally make anything that she can think of. And so she thought of a basically a hyper injector with the iodine to help save Brainy. And so she injects it into him, which helps bring him up, and he realizes he can use the anti-life code to defeat the Leviathan of technology, because it's made for technology. So she uses, Alex uses her device again and makes the device that they need to transmit it into it. And so they hand it off, and they get it to Supergirl, who gets it in, and they eventually destroy the Leviathan of technology. And of course, then, like I said, Lex has all the Leviathans in him except for the Leviathan of technology. So he's able to fully use and abuse, basically, his abilities, and you can see him getting a little cockier, because he thinks now he's more powerful than Supergirl. And I was thinking, will Lex become the Anti-Monitor, as Dreamer saw in her vision, and of course then we find out that Lex, he's gonna he launched these satellites, which will kill anyone who hasn't received the upgrade from those little contact lenses from Sibian, and if you don't get the upgrade, which has you basically love Lex no matter what he does, if you don't have that upgrade, your brain is fried and you're killed. You're basically blown up and destroyed.
We all know Lex is an egomaniac. He's always been an egomaniac. That's why he was jealous of Superman, because Superman had everybody loving him, and he wanted some of that fame.
exactly. And of course, now that he has that ability, he thinks he has that fame, that he has that ability to be able to do it. And I mean, well, we see though, of course, later on that that Lex, can he be stopped by the team? And of course he makes it to the point where Supergirl basically says, "Okay, we'll do this.
She baits him.
Yeah, I'll give myself up if you turn off the machines, the satellites." And of course, we we see that that's not the case. Um, and then Supergirl goes to the sanctum, and it actually looks different than what they showed on Superman and Lois, and it's supposed to be the same thing. It's supposed to be the same sanctum, but it doesn't. It didn't quite look the same to me as what it did on Superman and Lois. What about you?
No, it didn't. It looked a little different. It
Right?
looked a little different. It looked like maybe she has her own now.
But she doesn't though. It's the same. It's the same one. We know that because they talked about that in the show already. So we already know it's supposed to be the same one, but it's not. That's what it seems like. And of course the new uniform for the Martian Manhunter and also for his female companion. The uniforms, especially the Martian Manhunter, man. Did you check out his uniform? Like it looks
Actually,
amazing.
I watched it, but I wasn't really paying attention to the uniforms. I was too much of paying attention to the plot and what was going on, and yeah.
Well, obviously, you know, the team, they come up with an idea that they could possibly stop Lex by, if they retrieve that cylinder with the Leviathans in it, they can use that to make him mortal again, and then also Martian Manhunter and oh God, I wish I remembered her name, but the female Martian Manhunter, they decided to go up into space and use their telepathic abilities to merge with the satellites and push them all out of alignment at the same time, destroying them. Which
Oh.
with yeah. So so while they're doing that, Supergirl goes ahead and faces Lex, and Lex, of course, has that little. I mean, it's kind of like brass knuckles, but it doesn't go over the knuckles. But it has kryptonite in it. And so he's
Mm-hmm.
hitting her with it to the point where she actually dies. He feels for a pulse, and there's no pulse. And so, of course, he
Mm-hmm.
goes off and he leaves the
He's
room.
dancing. He's
He's dancing,
happy.
but the little protocol comes up and notices that Supergirl's in danger and brings in the suit that helps heal and take out the kryptonite from her.
Mm-hmm.
And so it helps bring her back to life, which I have to
It's
say, dude,
basic. It's
I love that suit.
basically the version. No, it's basically the version of Superman's black suit.
Kinda, yeah, yeah. But this one though, it's dude, I love the suit though. I liked how it came in as a little droid, and then it goes and attaches onto her and just like that was really nice. But
Nice,
but
nice.
Lex, at the time he's dancing around, tossing grenades, firing the guns, and having a good old little time. And of course, the team comes in and they go and they think they have the upper hand. They go to use the gun to stop him, and it turns out it don't work for some reason. First time around.
Mm.
And so Lex gets the upper hand and starts knocking out the team. And of course, they people start getting the satellites start going off, and people's heads start ringing, and it starts getting really bad. But Martian Manhunter and her are able to push the satellites out and destroy them. And then they were finally able to actually Alex was actually able to finally stop Lex, by creating the gun from her weapon there. And Supergirl Kara, she kicked the crystal to Alex, and she put it in, and she shot Lex, but he found the Phantom Zone, device, and he fired it off just as Alex was firing, and of course, Supergirl screams no, and they stopped Lex. They were able to hit him and make him mortal again, but unfortunately, though, Supergirl got hit by it, and it looks like now she's in the Phantom Zone. So now they have to try and find her, but they don't know the exact location, and the information on the device is corrupted, so they can't find the exact location where she was sent. So as of right now, Supergirl's lost.
And if you see her in the Phantom Zone at the end, if you see her, she's out like a light, but she's surrounded by demons.
Yes. That's the preview for next week's episode, which I'm looking forward to watching. But of course, we see Martian Manhunter starts talking a little bit about his past on when he was on Mars, and we find out about this little companion that he had that he fought with, and she had the nickname Sentinel. And so he gave Alex that name and her symbol too, that she would use. And so that's now Alex's, and she has her own little call button where they can push to call her and so forth. So now she's known as a Sentinel, which is pretty cool. And then of course we see Lana. She takes the device again, and she wipes Lex and her mother and everyone else who worked with Lex, and wiped out the memories of Kara being Supergirl. So that way Supergirl is finally safe once they finally get her back from the Phantom Zone. Yes. And that's it for that episode. Of course,
and don't forget though, she did leave a video journal.
Yes.
Of what she wanted them to do while she was gone.
No. It was supposed to be knowledge to basically. It's not what they should do, but it's supposed to help, anyone else who comes after her, to possibly help them, with their struggle on Earth. It's kind of like a last will and testament, but it's also like her bio kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Alex does not want to see it until she knows for certain, because Kara is not dead. She's just in the Phantom Zone.
Well, yeah. Well, we all know how hard it is to get back from that place.
Exactly. So, I mean, our time is starting to run down here. So let's get into Godzilla versus Kong before we run out of time.
Yes.
So did Khan know that he was in that dome? Did he know the whole time, or did he only figure it out after he threw that sphere? What do you think?
Well, let's start off at the beginning of it all. The beginning of it all.
That is the beginning.
Yeah, I thought he was dreaming.
No, he wasn't dreaming.
I thought he was dreaming. He wakes up. He's all. You know what? I think in a way he kind of knew he was in a dome, but he wasn't really 100% sure because it felt like home to him. I think he threw it. Yes, he knew he was in a dome.
Yeah. I love the opening title sequence where you saw all the different other monsters, and all of a sudden you see defeated, and it's all the different monsters that were defeated by Godzilla and by Kong, until there was only two left, Godzilla and Kong. So I love that little opening title sequence and so forth. But we do find out though that the reason why Godzilla is getting so mad and attacking is because of Apex. It's always Apex that it's attacking. And so we find out that there's this power source that they're wanting to get from the center of the earth, and so they want to use Kong to do it. because maybe he can help, find their way, to the center, because he's from that area, and so he would know. Um, but then will Khan actually take them there though? That's the whole question. And so that's what everyone's wondering. Will he actually be able to do it? And then we find out that, Khan can sign, and it's all with that little girl. And so she's actually the key to be able to communicate with Kong in order to get him to do things, because he trusts the little girl. Like, he made basically this promise that he would protect her when her family died. And so that's what he's doing. He's always, trying to protect her and stuff like that. But it was a great battle scene that they had on the sea. We see, Godzilla destroying ships just by swimming right through them, walking with his tail, taking out planes.
It had a Jaws feel when he was cutting through them with his talons.
And then
it had a Jaws feel.
And then he pulled that one ship that got cut in half.
It felt like
that did have a really good feel. Right, it did. And then, and then we see the Tusmasi, and they actually put the actual latitude and longitude, the legitimate ones, on screen there. But that battle scene though there was just amazing. And then of course we see that the Apex, they have kaiju eggs. They also, obviously we know that they have King Ghidorah's head. And so they're using that to make Mega Godzilla. And so, but we get Kong, and he goes to the center of the earth. They finally get him into there by telling him that, his family may be there. But yeah, it looked amazing. But his first fight scene in there, he's fighting these two flying monsters or snakes, and he rips the last one's head off, and he just starts drinking the blood. And the look on it was like, oh yes, this is refreshing, like it was the best taste that he ever had. But we find out though that Godzilla has been attacking Apex ever since Mega Godzilla came online. And then also on the next fight scene, Godzilla, when he hit Kong, it almost looked like Godzilla was laughing at one point. Like, he gave like a little chuckle when he hit Kong in the face. And of course, we see Godzilla wins. He is the ultimate winner. But it wasn't fully that clear. I mean, they could have been more clear on it, but Godzilla did win. And of course, we get them teaming up at the end to take down Mega Godzilla. But I was thinking though, when they finally got the power source going through, and brought up Mega Godzilla, and it wasn't under control of the pilot, I almost thought that maybe King Ghidorah was taking over Mega Godzilla, because they were using King Ghidorah's head.
Well, it was at the end. Where it fried him, it fried the driver. That's the part where King Ghidorah was taking over the body.
But after Godzilla crushed Kong's chest, and Kong was starting to die, the humans decided to electrically charge him, and brought Kong back to life. But his shoulder was out, so he pops his shoulder back into place, man.
And you hear it too. You hear the bone snap.
You hear it, man.
Bone snap, and he growls. He's like, it's like,
and then during the fight scene, Godzilla was getting his butt kicked by Mega Godzilla, and that little girl had to go to Kong and tell him, hey, you know what? Godzilla is actually not the bad guy. You need to help him. And so Godzilla charges in there and saves Godzilla.
Well, did you see his face?
Charges in there, saves Godzilla. And Godzilla gave the look like, oh, you're actually helping me. But Kong, he finds his axe, he picks it up, and he's trying to take out, and of course the humans, they stopped the uplink with Mega Godzilla, so it couldn't use its tail anymore. So Kong starts taking his axe and he's whacking up, but it's not doing any damage. And so, Godzilla sees that, he charges up his axe, and
Yeah.
Godzilla just takes off the arms and just completely destroys it. And Kong won that match. But everyone, I think though this is about time for us to say goodbye.
Yep.
But thank you, all of you overloaders out there, for watching. I appreciate it. And until next time, I will see you in reality. And Bobby, thank you for joining me again. I will see you
Please
next
come
time
and
as well.
snoop around the corner with me.
All righty, man. I'll see you next time, and I'll see all of you overloaders in reality next time. Have a great night.
Good night, everybody.